Fight fans, this is Kurtaville with Counterpunch Boxing News. And like I promised, I am back for 2.0, some more discussion of Vasily Lomachenko and Devin, the Dream Haney. So, I will let the chat load as we continue our conversation. Of course, I had some personal business to handle, but I'm back in action. And I will let the chat load. We got 3 on the chat. When you guys come in, hit that like button. Soul Live. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Let's hit that like button. Let's show support by hitting that like button. Nice. We have 8 on the chat, 6 likes. That's what I'm talking about. Let's keep that ratio. Let's get it going. We got Vasily Lomachenko, Fury Motion. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Devin Haney, Vasily Lomachenko. Look, in the trash talk ain't bad. I mean, they've counterpunched each other, you know. Vasily Lomachenko called him a coward. Well, to be fair, okay, I'll follow the rules. I hit the like button. Tropicana, appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. That's how you do it. That's how we all supposed to do it. Okay, each and every time you do it like tropical. Tropicana. Okay, but here's the thing. No Lomachenko, no Matchchenko, right? That's a counterpunch. Devin Haney, he called Devin Haney a coward, but to be fair, he called all those guys cowards, really. You know, I guess he's referring also, including Teofimo-Lopez, because Teofimo-Lopez himself has turned down the rematch, you know. And I think Skrilla 50, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Alberto Reyes, respect, brother. You always speak the truth. Appreciate you. I think that brings bitterness, though. If we talk about Vasily Lomachenko for a minute, Vasily, he thought that the scorecards should have been closer. He thought that it was a draw, you know. Well, at least he didn't say that, hey, it was a robbery. But if the scorecards were wrong, though, to be fair, and let's just, like, if this was a court of law, if this was a perfect world, how many, Skrilla 50, thank you, brother, appreciate it. 50K, man. We halfway and then some, right? Just a show of yes or no. How many of you guys think the scorecards between Vasily Lomachenko and Teofimo-Lopez was accurate? Offend in every way. Loma knew he lost. It was just a bruised ego, kind of disappointing. Okay, again. How many of you guys, again, think that the scorecards were accurate in the Lomachenko versus Teofimo-Lopez fight? They were accurate. Omawile, they were accurate, okay? Who else? Shelton Moore, yes. Simple Boy, no. Fury Motion, yes. Solo Live, no. Offend in every way. Accurate but close, okay? Scorecards were slightly off, but Loma still lost. Okay. What else we got? Yes, accurate. Tell the truth. Okay. Devin is not proven, in my opinion. No, he's not King Mustafa. Loma did lose. Martin Rojas. And see, the thing is, I don't think the scorecards were right at all. So I think they were off. I think all these fucking scorecards been off since COVID, to be honest with you. But does that warrant a rematch? That's the question. Does that warrant a rematch? You see what I mean? Because he figured he wanted a rematch. And it's like this. You can't be pissed off at Teofimo-Lopez at the end of the day because you decided to fight a guy that took less money, a guy that you treated like a second-class citizen, a guy that your father, he disrespected his father, pretty much looked at him like he had shit on him. I know what that feels like. You don't have to say anything to have a certain attitude with a person, people. You can look at a person like you're better than them or they're beneath you, and without saying a fucking word. So you think a guy that you've done all that to, then with the trash talk and the bad blood, and said that you're going to do this and make them pay and all this, that, and the other, and you didn't sign a fucking contract, you think that person is going to give you a rematch? That you've made your utter rival a rival now, and you have to settle things with this rival this rivalry has been created? Do you think for a second then that guy beats you without a rematch clause? Do you think that he's going to give you a rematch? No, I don't. And that's the problem. Loma gave that fight away. I mean, yeah, he gave it away by not fighting. I mean, how much data did he have to download? Loma was too arrogant and didn't have a rematch clause. That's it. He can't blame anybody but himself and his team. His father should have stopped him like, hey, in their native tongue, pulled him to the side. You need to get a rematch clause with him. But then, are we fair to say now, we talk about everybody else. So why not Lomachenko? Are we fair to say or to assume, people, that Lomachenko has yes men surrounding him? Jenny's Psychology of Boxers. Good evening to you. Think about what I said. Do you think Vasyl Lomachenko is surrounded by yes men? I heard he's still downloading the information. BSMI 1361. Maybe he is. I'm not sure. Call me when Lopez moves up against Taylor Ramirez of Prograde. Well, if he's going to stay there, he needs to stay there. And then and if Teofimo has the mindset that he's the undisputed champion, he needs to start, fighting these guys. He's fighting the Camboso, which is a mandatory. But mandatories are only going to last so long. They are. Congrats on 50K. Appreciate you. Thank you. Black Hat Horror. Love the channel. Happy to finally catch a live stream. Black Hat Horror. Appreciate you, brother, and welcome. Do you guys think, from just yes or no, do you guys think that Vasyl Lomachenko, because he made a decision like that, or somebody made a decision for no rematch clause, do you think because they made that decision not to put a rematch clause in there, could this mean that he was surrounded by yes men? By a series of yes or no? One moment. Okay, we got a yes from Jaguar. Shelton Moore, yes. Black Hat Horror, no. Offend in every way, yes. Okay. What do we got? Do we got any more votes? A lack of rematch clause tells me that people are not looking out for him. Well, they're not looking out for him, or they were just trying to overlook the person that was in front of him. So there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of ways you can look at that, because, who does that? What top fighter don't have a rematch clause? De La Hoya had one against Mayweather. Klitschko had one against Joshua. Klitschko had one against Fury. Joshua had one against Ruiz. He'll have one against Fury and vice versa. Bisme 1361. Loma was cocky and he paid the price. Well, obviously so. But who allowed that type of decision to be made? in a unification of all things, a unification. Exactly. You even seen guys have rematch clauses versus lesser fighters. No idea why a rematch clause wasn't in there. There you go. I think, yeah, it was cockiness. I think that it was an upset, though, people. Understand that. Bob Arum. Now, have you noticed something about Bob, though? This is what I don't like about Bob. Why is Bob having everything to say about fighters, all these other fighters that he's had? They're trash, they're this, they're overpaid, I'm losing money, this, that, and the other, or I don't owe you money, so I'm going to sue you, you're going to sue me. Okay, he's been there in the drama seat with a lot of boxers. Why is it that he's never talking shit about Vasyl Lomachenko? Have you guys noticed that? Have you ever heard Bob Arum say anything bad about fucking Lomachenko? Orlando Garcia, yo, Kurt, what's up, Papi? I hope you're all good. I'm all good. I'm all good, Bana. Jaguar, maybe he figured he can eke out a decision and make them move on. Well, I guess. How many would have guessed Loma was injured? I don't know. You know, I know he had a surgery, but I mean, nobody wants to hear that. Nobody cares. Like, look, this is society, people, boxers, casuals, diehards. All of us combined, we don't want to hear nothing about a fucking injury. Orlando Garcia. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Loma is white, and therefore he treats him the best. Ooh. Okay. What's the last what is another white fighter that Bob Arum has had under his belt? Because we have to have somebody to compare it to. Because if Lomachenko, who else has Bob Arum that was a white guy? Loma is a way bigger star than Teal fan base. Fan wise, that's why. You need to get on Punch Drunk's Boxing's panel, bro. Yeah, I've heard. I've listened to. He's bringing in some good people. I like his. I like his platform. You know, he's getting some interviews with some solid guys, some solid people. When has Arum trashed Shakur? That's a good question. Offend in every way. I never seen him trash Shakur. So, Adam Cram, congrats on the 50,000. That's awesome. Appreciate you, brother. Mike Hall, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. But yeah, I'll be happy to go on this panel. No problem. He only has problem with blacks and Latino fighters. Well, the problem is we have nothing to compare Bob Arum to. Now, not saying I'm disagreeing with you, because you guys know if there's an issue about race or any other issue, that I'm going to bring it up. Orlando Garcia, I'm glad you brought that up. It wasn't me that started it, but it seems to me, okay, Loma lost, right? No rematch clause. He went out to bat for a rematch for Loma, okay, on the behalf of Loma, Team Loma, to get these two guys back in the ring again to see if what could happen. Why do you think he would do that? Favoritism. Favoritism, right? Now, then you have, but no shit talk about Loma. But then you have Terrence Crawford making Khan quit. Who makes Khan quit? Khan gets knocked out. Khan don't quit. He made Khan quit. See, Canelo knocked him out. British Prescott knocked him out. Danny Garcia stopped him. Canelo knocked him out. Did I say that already? Okay. Maybe I did. But the fact I'm trying to make is he gets knocked out. He doesn't quit. Terrence Crawford made him quit. He knocked out Kell Brook. Stopped that fight. Jeff Horn, which Jeff Horn, honestly, when have you seen him say anything bad about Jeff Horn? Wouldn't he an affiliate? Was Jeff Horn promoted by Bob Arum? Chris Serrano, Slotello presents. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Who do exactly as he wants them to do, and if anyone resists him, they'll get on his bad list or ask for too much money. Which black fighters are under Bob Arum? Terrence Crawford, Shakur Stevenson, not Prograis. Really, I don't know any, honestly. Don't fuck me, son. You better not fuck me, son. What is T.O. really worth? That's the real question. T.O. can't be worth more than Terrence Crawford, so why would Bob pay him more or equal to Crawford? That's a good question. But he didn't. But don't worry, he doesn't have to now because he lost the fucking purse bid. Trilla will be paying him. Will be paying both of them. And someone will be paying Teofimo probably for the rest of his career. He says he's going to war. So, do you guys saying knowing this, if, like he said, he was his white knight or whatnot, did you see Keyshawn Davis debut on? I did not, man. I missed it. Man, I did because I lost my credit card, man, and I had ate some oysters, and I was on my way calmly back to the crib, and I couldn't find, because I went to Walmart to buy some stuff, and then, like, I couldn't find it. So I had to track it down. It took me about 40 minutes to find it. It was terrible. I think Bud is extremely fair. Bob is extremely fair to his black fighters, but he was happy Loma got beat. That's a fact. He was happy. No one wants to see Teofimo versus Kambosos, though, in my opinion. It's a 2 to 4 round fight. Well, if that's the case, it should be a good showcase fight so he can move on with the rest of his career. Is Joseph Parker a top 5 heavyweight? No, he's not. He might be top 10. DAZN might sign T.O. They still in talks. Well, he's closer to signing with DAZN than going back to Bob Arum. T.O. deserves some bread for beating Loma with the cards stacked against him all. T.O. wanted was his minimum, and Bob fought him on it. Bob could have gave that man the difference between that money. See, that's what bothers me about them promoters. They made all that money and then they act like they can't help anybody for any other reason. It's terrible. Terrible. I'm from Australia and I want Kambosos to beat Teofimo-Lopez. Well, Kirk Gomez, I think you would. Qua, what's next for Porter? I don't know. Commentating. We only want to see Teal versus Tank at the moment. Well, good luck with that. Floyd growing hair out of his head and he just had his birthday. Has the heart of a lion and an uppercut. That's it. When in the actual FUQ is the Taylor Ramirez fight happening? I'm not sure, man. I'm really not sure. But just because T.O. beat a great fighter doesn't mean he's automatically worth mega millions for every fighter. The money will come with bigger fights. Black Hat Horror, that's true. I mean, you have to fight someone worth money. See, Arturo Gotti was worth money when Floyd fought him. I mean, he humiliated Gotti. God bless the dead. But Gotti was worth that. Okay? Loma could have fought the My Pillow guy and got more money than Teofimo. He could have. But then ask yourself this question. How much money does Loma get? How much money is Loma worth? And then when you beat Loma, okay, well, if you take on Loma's popularity and salary, how much is that? So let's check. How much is Vasil Lomachenko's salary per fight? What the hell? All right. Okay, so let's see. All right, here's his guaranteed payouts. Okay. Gary Russell Jr., 650,000. Cholataran Piriapio, 500,000. Gamalier Rodriguez, 750,000. Romulo, 750,000. Roman Martinez, 950,000. Now, Nicholas Walters, he finally got $1 million. Jason Sosa, $1 million. Miguel Mariaga, 750,000. Okay. Guillermo Rigo, he made 1.25 million. Jorge Linares, same thing, 1.25. Jose Pedraza, 2 million. Anthony Krella, 3 million. Luke Campbell, 3.5 million. Teofimo Lopez, 3.25 million. Okay, so that's his fight purse. So he's a $3 million fighter. Or he was, because he lost. So the question is, will he get that same salary? So again, what warrants Teofimo Lopez to be more or be worth more than the guy he beat? You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's how we have to look at it. But he did take less money to fight Lomachenko. So it is what it is. Teofimo is a damn welterweight. Move up already. I love to see him, to see what he's got against Prograis. Me too. 1.2 million shouldn't have been a problem. No, it shouldn't have. But someone like Teofimo Lopez they're always going to compare where they are in their career to other fighters that already fought. You know what I'm saying? That's what people do. What would Floyd do? They act like what would Floyd do compared to what Jesus would do. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of people are obsessed with the career of Floyd Mayweather, for the record. I hope that Canelo doesn't become franchise on 168. Hey, if he beats everybody, he's going to become exactly that. But at that point, who gives a shit? Because he's beat everybody. He's beat all the champs. He beat Callum Smith. He fulfilled his mandatory. If he beats Billy Joe Saunders, then he turns around and fights who? Scroll up to see my points I just made. Where you at? Hi, just a quick couple of points from me. Bob has a racist undertone, but back in the day, he was with the civil rights movement. Ooh, counterpunch. And second point, Cambosos isn't a walk in the park. Stopped Shelby. Okay, well, he doesn't look like a walk in the park with 19-0 and 10 knockouts. No losses, no draws. Mandatory. I mean, he had to fight his way to get there. So, no, but you're right about Bob. Bob, I think, is a culture vulture. He's a culture vulture. You know, because he was there because of what was going on at the time. That's it. You know, people's rights, you know, the right for people, our people, to vote. That was a major thing. Women to fucking vote. You know, so a lot was changing and a lot of people didn't want change to happen. So he was supposed to be for it. But do you hear him talk about any of that shit now? Now, he may say, though, I was there. I was there with Muhammad Ali. I was there with I was there. I marched with him, for Christ's sake. I'm Jewish. Australian fighters historically don't perform well as mandatories. Bob is a part of the tribe. Do your homework. He doesn't see race. He sees green. Okay. Yeah, he sees green, all right. He sees his own green. Pacquiao will beat Loma. You know, that would be a good fight, but I think somebody like Manny Pacquiao would hurt Loma. I don't give a shit. You know, Loma was like, it's too old. It's too old to fight. Listen, Manny Pacquiao get to hitting you and welling on your ass, you might be over with. That herky-jerky shit will all... You know, he damn near broke Timothy Bradley's fucking ankle and injured it like calves because when someone is stepping, the motherfucker has calves like Barry Sanders. You know what I mean? He uses those legs and you can't, like, it's when someone's coming at you like that and you're trying to either step out, and a lot of times, a lot of those fighters, they ended up leaning because they're trying to come straight back, right? What it is the fact that they're trying to lean and come straight back, and then you're right where he wants you. That shit right there, you know, it's almost like it's not a flinch because he's coming at you. And then he can easily go backwards than forwards. So that irky-jerky shit coming at you with his legs, you know, because he doesn't have long reach, so he uses his legs. I've seen Manny Pacquiao throw punches where he leans his whole body because he doesn't have the reach. He has those T-Rex arms, but he uses his legs as leverage. After Canelo beats Billy Joe and Benavidez should be next. He should, but he might not fight him. Because, see, this is what Canelo will do. Canelo, if he beats that guy, he's not going to worry about the other guy. He ain't going to fight every fucking body. He ain't going to do that. Because by that time, Canelo is, you know, he will claim to be the undisputed and he doesn't have to fight any of those guys. And it will come to a point where if those guys want to fight him without any of the belts, what would warrant a fight against him? So then he'll start picking people we never fucking heard of. Watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you. And people are going to want him, you know, to go to the next challenge. What about Bivol? You know, he going to fight Bivol. If he fights Bivol, I'll be very impressed. Jermel Howard the Duck Charlo. Bud putting a whooping on Pac. I'd be fucked up he knocks out Pacquiao. I'd be heartbroken. But then I would say, I told you motherfuckers that. I told you. And Bob Arum was like, you know, I wouldn't want to watch the fight. I didn't want to make it because I was concerned for Manny Pacquiao's health. He has children, for God's sake. Yeah, I didn't get the Howard the Duck thing. I don't know what that meant. Bud will retire that man. If he retires that man, though, understand, people. If he retires Manny Pacquiao, all them welterweight motherfuckers can't say shit. They're going to be pissed off if he gets the fight. And I'll go as far as this. I think a lot of people, certain people, don't want Manny Pacquiao to fight Terrence Crawford because they're still worried about fucking who makes more money out of Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. Who's the bigger draw? Who's the A side? See, if he fights Manny Pacquiao, then their argument gets a little bland. It gets a little dim. Because their fucking guy that they back over there on their welterweight champion, Errol Spence, and yes, I said their welterweight champion, that guy will then look silly or foolish because he's been chasing a Pacquiao fight since he's fucking beat up little old Mikey Garcia. So he already knows that if Terrence Crawford gets that fight, something's going to have to happen. I think if Terrence Crawford gets the Pacquiao fight, stops Pacquiao, Errol Spence is going to move to 154. Watch. He's going to relinquish those belts. I'm the best welterweight. No, you better be some other weight. Because I don't see him because he knows that, yo, I just took out the guy you've been chasing for fucking 2 years. So get the fuck out of here. I'm not going to take 30% out of your 70 just because you got another belt more than me. The fuck out of here. I beat the guy that had the WBA before they stripped it from him. But what else they going to do? I beat the 8 division champion. Oh, he retired. I retired this motherfucker. You couldn't even get a fight with him? It ain't going to work good. That fight is not going to be made like people think it's going to be made, especially when Terrence Crawford has took out the fucking new crown prince of the PBC, and his name was Manny Pacquiao at the time. Charlo said he won't fight anyone under 25, and that's not vaccinated. That bullshit. Come on. Great fighters, but Errol and Bud are not getting huge pay-per-view numbers unless they are fighting Latino fighters. Yeah, well, that's the that's the marketing and shit, but that's bullshit too. That's bullshit too. Like that shouldn't matter. But it just shows you Spence doesn't generate that type of money. And then he's in a right time because he had a pay-per-view venue that actually had a fucking gate. See, a lot of these bubble fights are like forfeited fights because that revenue is already forfeited because there's no revenue from the live gate. He was just fortunate in Texas, the state of Texas, to have a live gate, which was great. But for him, I'm the best, I'm the savage, I sell everybody. No, you don't. You just had a situation where your state allowed live fights and you got in where you fit in. That's it. Pac will drop Bud. Wow. If Pac drops Bud, he's a bad motherfucker. You know what I mean? What if Pacquiao beat Bud Crawford? Wow. What if he beat Bud Crawford? Yeah, Mike Hall, but we ain't going to see that shit. Errol Spencer's running over to the zone and shit, sidelining like a fucking cheerleader. I fight Canelo right now. We can get him to fight. Like, damn, dude, won't you fight somebody in your own fucking weight class? Everybody want to run around and move up and shit. Even though I would respect that he did it because I don't honestly believe he would do it. You know what I'm saying? He would do it for money, but he know, like, I'm not going to, fuck around and end up like Kell Brook. Kurt, he got to talk like that or go unnoticed like Bud has been for the public. I guess he has. Thurman will hurt Spence. If Thurman beats Spence, that would be some funny shit. I told you guys that I was going to beat Spence. Spence is an underrated fighter. He's a one-dimensional fighter. I had surgeries, so everybody thought that I was ducking this boy. Now I was a couple levels above this boy. Floyd threw that guy as a barricade in front of me to keep me away from him. So I told him, look, I'll fight you, but if I'm going to fight you, I'm going to fight you with my 100% because this is my time. This is one time, Keith Thurman, and I put the hurt on the young kid from Dallas. Saludos, Senor Counterpuncher. What's good? Paul, Vazel, everything's good, man. Crowds don't matter, skills do. Yeah, they don't, but, everybody pulling that Floyd Mayweather shit. Is he doing better numbers than mine? What? No, Pat can beat Spence, but he cannot drop Bud at a third stage in his career. Definitely see Bud for the win. Look, I'll watch it, and I'll kind of be nervous watching it, honestly, because I don't want Pac hurt, man. I like Pacquiao. I actually like the guy. I like his personality. Somebody, and it would be one of the, think about, wouldn't that fucking be devastating if Bud hit? See, that would fuck everything up. If Bud hurt Manny Pacquiao and put him in like some type of Shakur Stevenson, dude, people would be like, that shit will probably shut down boxing. Think about what I said. That shit will probably shut down boxing. Manny Pacquiao go under. Yeah, Crawford number 1, Canelo number 2. You don't become number 1 over fucking night for beating the fucking mandatory. You don't do it. Right? He's up there. Love the voice impersonations are great. Yeah, that's Keith one time. Oh, Senator. Oh, ye or Senator. Yeah, I mean, but Thurman can promote. Look, Thurman should be a commentator after this is all over. He can talk shit. Just his personality. I had Triple G winning the second fight versus Canelo. You ain't gonna beat Canelo on the scorecards. We can get that shit up. We've seen it. Is Canelo on points all the way through? Do death do us part? He did close the Triple G chapter out. It's Triple G that hung on to that shit too long. I want another fight. Like, dude, you got to draw on a fucking fight that you outpointed this dude by a gang of fucking points. But he ain't the only one that did that. So he should have done his research on Canelo Alvarez and figured out, yo, I beat this guy. And he should have worried more about his confidence. He thought, what, you gonna knock Canelo out? Obviously, you couldn't do it the first fucking fight. You got to knock Canelo's head clean off. Karma, you got to do exactly that. Knock his ass, fucking knock it back to Guadalajara. Who is the biggest threat to Canelo at this point? Billy Joe. Oh, no power for Billy Joe. Well, shit. How much power did Erislandy Lara have? So I don't necessarily believe that. But I will say with more power, it would be more dangerous for Canelo because Canelo would start getting hit. You don't have to be a power puncher to beat these guys. It ain't like he's Canelo's Superman. The only problem with Canelo, he's a very good skilled fighter. He's a very decisive, quick, aggressive counterpuncher. But then he has problems losing decisions. That's the problem. You know, he has problems losing decisions. So that's political. But skill-wise, physically, the dude is fucking great. He's already a fucking problem to fight. Y'all see the Danny Jacobs, the defense he put against Jacobs, and Jacobs is 6 foot tall. Jacobs looking like a Dominican shit. You know, Jacobs looks Dominican to me. He looks Spanish, fucking ears, you know what I mean? He's like, you know what I mean? Looks like he's from fucking Higuay and shit. He looks Latino. Only losers from the LGBC take Haney seriously. But back to Loma. Back to Haney. So Haney and Loma should fight. Nobody giving Haney that fight. And I think Haney should fight Loma. Loma wants to fight him. Chris, what's up, brother? I'm doing good. Jacobs doesn't look like he's from DR. He looks like that for me. He looks like he's from DR. I know a lot of dudes look just like him. Looks like a Dominican from New York, really. You know what I mean? He looks like he's from New York. You know, New York. Nick, I disagree that I hate the LDBC and I like Haney. Loma is the one that wanted to be a French fried champ. But I definitely want to see this fight. Well, obviously, if he's talking shit that he's comfortable with making the fight, and I think Mr. Haney should see how far that rabbit hole goes to see how far that goalpost has to be drawn or stretched. Too big and slick for Loma. Okay, let's see it. I want to see these fights. Comey looked good his last fight. That's good for him. That Fanny, where do you stay when you go to DR? All over the place. Malverde, Nagua. But really, Mao. Where's H Money now? Usually all over your live streams. Well, I mean, he was here earlier. He was here earlier, definitely. Haney is scared as fuck of Loma. All Haney do is talk. Couldn't even hurt Gamboa and was hitting him flush. Pillow hands. Damn. Nico and was waste and not waste his time with pillow fist. Kmart Floyd. He called that man a Kmart Floyd. That's fucked up. Haney versus Loma make the fight. Yeah, Peter, let's make that fight happen. Let's make that fight happen. Why not? Billy Joe is going to get beat up and overwhelmed with just like Smith. Haney should fight Fortuna. Yeah, he could. I mean, that's what everybody was complaining about. Fortuna is a young fighter. I mean, he's been here and there. I think he beat Robert Easter, honestly do. But, he didn't know how to play by the rules. Ray Khan, what's up, brother? Counterpunch. Killy Boy here, Scotland. Tanks has fought no one. Haney the same, so they should get it in. Dude, Haney is not going to fight. Tank's not going to fight Haney. You know what I mean? And for all we know, Floyd Mayweather probably trained both of them motherfuckers to make sure they don't fight each other unless it's like for the most money possible. Shit. Haney's dad said Haney had an injured arm or something on board, so he might be better than we saw. Who knows? Micah, I'd love to see Haney versus Loma. I think that it would be an awesome boxing match. I'm done doing imaginary lineups for those fighters, especially 135. This is just boring at this point. Well, I think those guys should fight. I think it would be a competitive fight due to the styles. We already see me wrapping this up because I got to go to sleep. But me seeing, looking, and observing how Teofimo Lopez used the Philly shell at times, the way he fights like that anyway. And that gave Loma problems. So if that type of style can give Loma problems, Devin Haney could also give Loma problems. It's safe to say because that's how he fights. He fights like a young Floyd. So if that's the case, this is the fight we want to see. Trash talk will remain. It was some good counterpunch trash talks. And now let's do some walks in the ring. But anyway, guys, this is the 2.0, me wrapping it up for the night. I thank each and every one of you guys for coming on. We will see you as time permits. Tomorrow night, I will be live with another live stream. I have, of course, enforced videos to give you guys. Everybody be safe. Wear your mask because we don't know who has what. Please subscribe. And everybody has been counterpunched. Peace.